Hello, folks. It's your favorite real team from New York. I'm Evantz Saint-Gerard.
And I'm Dean Graber.
We're Team NWE of Keller Williams Realty Landmark. This is our favorite segment called Your Next Move. Our special guest today is Tyler. Tyler, tell them who you are and where you're from.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. Tyler Shields. I run a real estate team called Relevate, and we are hubbed in the Denver metro area. So I run a real estate team there. We also have an expansion location in Arizona, but our main hub there is Denver, Colorado. And that's what we do. Run a team and been doing it for 5 years.
Okay,
all right, awesome.
Great. So Tyler, besides in Denver, when you say Denver metro area, tell us about and tell the people here what are the metro areas there? What are the names of them and what are they like in the proximity to the city?
Yeah, so we cover what we like to call in Colorado the Front Range, which basically means the major cities right along the base of the mountains. And so you got Denver, Colorado metropolitan area, which encompasses a lot of major areas. You have Denver proper. You also have suburbs like Littleton, Aurora. You have nearby cities like Boulder, Colorado, which is technically its own metro area. But then you have nearby metropolitan areas like Fort Collins up north, where CSU, Colorado State University is. And then you have Colorado Springs in the south, which is another kind of big hub. So all those kind of metropolitan areas are along the base of the mountains, and we cover all those areas and everything in between. So
okay, so great. And now these suburban areas, are they residential neighborhoods, or are they just with touristy, like second home kind of travel and vacation travel, or are they residential neighborhoods?
yeah, good question. Yeah, so the suburbs are going to be mainly residential. You get a lot of the kind of more touristy areas as you go up into the mountains. So
Okay.
there's a myriad of kind of towns up there in the mountains that are going to feel more touristy, just an hour up in the mountains. But all these kind of suburb areas are going to feel. It's going to feel like suburbia. They got the parks and the schools, and all of them have their kind of own little mini metropolitan downtown areas where they have their own little cultures. So they're almost kind of towns in and of themselves. You just have a new town when you drive to the edge of that one.
So what's the affordability for those areas that you just mentioned?
Yeah, so for a detached single-family home, the average home price in the Denver metropolitan area, average sold price this year is right at $500,000. And so our as a team, we're a little bit lower than that. We're about at $450,000 for our average sold price. And so, so that's what it looks like for $500,000. You're probably going to get your pick of a detached home, 3,000 plus square feet in a decent suburb neighborhood around the Denver area.
Can you say how many square feet again?
3,000 plus square feet or more, probably.
I wasn't sure I heard that correctly myself. I'm like, wait, did he say three? Okay.
Mm-hmm. The thing about Denver is it's really been every kind of neighborhood has been a planned community kind of starting in the 80s. So we've been really built out from the 80s. So almost every neighborhood was a new construction neighborhood within the past 30 years. And so they kind of have the more modern built kind of suburbia type homes where they try to give you as much square footage as possible in, as efficient space as possible. So.
All right. So what kind of amenities can people expect in those areas?
Yeah, so Denver is really known as kind of like an outdoor recreation area. And so one thing you'll notice when you're in Denver is just parks everywhere. Not even necessarily I can drive to the mountains and get outside, but there are literally parks everywhere. Lots of great trails all over the metropolitan area. You can pretty much commute by bike or foot on trails anywhere in the major metropolitan area. And then the other cool thing about Denver is, like I said, each suburb kind of has its own little downtown area. So you can kind of go to Littleton and get your own little downtown area, or Aurora or Castle Rock, or all these little areas. So a lot of cute little areas where you can dig in and find some local businesses and shops.
All right. So what are things families can do?
Yeah, great question. So there are, again, like I kind of view Denver as it appeals to a lot of different people. So there's a lot of kind of bars and restaurants and nightlife for younger kind of singles. But I think that there's also a ton of stuff for families. So again, going back to the parks, there's a bunch of like rec and sports and leagues like that. We have a bunch of great zoos and wildlife areas for people to check out, water parks. And then we have some great museums. So the Children's Museum is really known as a place for kids to hang out. It's designed just for them. Got a great aquarium. So I think the main thing you'll see most families doing in Denver is getting out to parks and being outside, hiking or going up to the mountains. So that's going to be the main thing you'll see.
Okay. All right. My
And
favorite subject. I think this is Dean's favorite subject also. Food wise, what's Denver known
there
for
we go.
food wise?
So I feel like Denver has kind of borrowed their food scene from New Mexico. So we've kind of adopted the green chili breakfast burrito capital of the world type of thing. So every restaurant has like their own breakfast burrito. Chipotle started in Denver. So like the burrito kind of Southwest sort of style has kind of made its way into Denver. Obviously people probably heard of the Denver omelet. And so you got a lot of that.
What's in the Denver omelet?
So the Denver omelet, you got peppers, onions, ham. That's kind of the general idea there. So, but the other thing, Denver has an interesting style pizza. It's called a mountain style pizza, and so the crust is almost like it's served with honey because the crust is so thick and doughy.
Did you say honey?
Yeah. Yes. So you have honey for dipping.
Ever.
By the time you get to the crust, it's almost like a sweet roll or something, and you dip the crust in honey. So that's the mountain pie.
That's interesting. That's very.
Evans, you'll be boarding your plane to Denver today.
I'm already getting in my car as we speak.
I don't think you're driving there, but
I'm driving to the airport.
There you go.
All right. So we talked about recreation, sports, and music. What's going on in Denver?
Yeah. So Denver has one of the best music venues in the world in Red Rocks Amphitheater. So Red Rocks Amphitheater is an outdoor amphitheater set right into the middle of these natural rock formations. It was a natural outdoor amphitheater that was used over 100 years ago from original settlers in the area.
I have to interrupt. How many times did the Grateful Dead play at Red Rocks?
I knew that was coming.
That's a great
like
question.
At least 30,
I
40,
don't know off the top of my head.
Right?
It's an amazing lineup every single year. Every time you watch a concert there, you're always hearing artists saying, "This is my favorite place to play." It's just so fun, and it sits right up in the foothills, right on the edge of Denver. So as night falls for the concert, you see the entire metro area and all the lights, and it's a great place. The acoustics, it's an amazing place to take in a concert. So that's the music scene, as well as obviously big concerts will be at Pepsi Center, Empower Field where the Broncos play, and Fiddler's Green is another cool amphitheater we have. But for sports, obviously it is Broncos for people around here.
What was the name of that team?
We didn't catch it.
Yeah, people love their football around here. And so Broncos is number one. Everything else is starts at number four. But
where's the hockey team play? Where's the Avalanche play?
Yes, the Avalanche plays at the Pepsi Center along with the Nuggets. So, obviously, a lot of the teams this past year were actually pretty decent. So the Nuggets made it to the Western Conference Finals. The Avalanche made it decently far. The Rockies actually were not that good, but we're overall like sports, but definitely football is number 1, 2, and 3 here.
All right, awesome.
I have figured that. So I have a question. If you're moving from New York, and I'm looking at the list of towns, say Colorado Springs, do you have people transplanting themselves from New York to the suburbs of Denver?
Definitely. Yep. Yeah. I actually have had multiple clients moving from the New York area to Denver. I think I love clients that are relocating from New York because, one, they're pleasantly surprised by what they get for their dollars. Okay. And number two, I think you're going to find generally in Denver a lot more laid back and relaxed culture and environment than you do on the East Coast. And so it's not quite as competitive. It's not quite as fast paced. So some people like that. Some people don't, but especially people that are looking to get out of that and have a slower pace of life. Denver really is a great place to see a lot of people that enjoy that change of pace culturally.
Okay, great. And skiing. Everywhere, right?
Dean, you might want to preface this why you brought that up, because you had a trip that was planned.
I still do. I'm going to Breckenridge in 3 weeks.
I love it. Love it. Yeah. So, skiing obviously is one of the first things people think about when they think about Colorado. So obviously one of the best things about Denver is you got a huge metropolitan area, and pretty much any ski resort you want to get to is going to be within 2 hours of the airport. And so you got this I-70 is the main interstate that goes up into the mountains from Denver. And there's a little pocket near Breckenridge where you got Breckenridge, Keystone, Copper, it's Copperstone. You got all the Copperleaf. You got all these various ski resorts all within a little 30-minute section there.
Vale is near Breckenridge, right? I think it's a half hour.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to be there for a week. I'm going to be there with my kids. They're adult kids. You know what I mean? They're not little kids. And so we're going to be spending one day in Denver. What would you suggest to somebody visiting Denver for one day that they can do with their family?
That's a great question. So, so if someone's in Denver one day, there's a couple kind of landmarks or areas I recommend they check out. One would be 16th Street Mall downtown. It's kind of the main strip where there's sort of all the different restaurants and fun things right there, kind of in the downtown area. I always recommend people take a swing by Red Rocks Amphitheater in the morning. It's open where people can kind of just exercise and walk around. It doesn't cost to go in there. And so it's a great place to check out, kind of get up into the mountains. So
did you say it was free 99? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. Red Rocks Amphitheater. Yep. Free in the mornings to go check out. So, so that's a great place because you really get a sense of being up in the mountains, great views, get to check stuff out. So typically I'm sending people those two places. And then depending on, are you wanting kind of higher end shopping, you can go to the Cherry Creek area in the Cherry Creek Mall. If you're wanting a little bit more kind of outdoorsy mountain town feel, you can go to Golden, has a great outdoor area and a river running through the town where and the last thing I'll say is Golden also known for Coors Brewery. So we have a lot of breweries in Colorado.
You read my mind because I was thinking that I'm a beer drinker. So yes, people can make fun of me all they want. I love drinking Coors. Yeah. Keep talking. You're talking my language right now.
I don't know why I haven't brought it up yet, but obviously the other thing that Colorado is known for is breweries, and we have a million of them. And so one of the most fun things to do is go do the brewery tour. So you can go to Coors and do their brewery tour. You go up to Fort Collins, do Fat Tires brewery tour. There's also there's Breckenridge Brewery is up in Breckenridge. So you got a lot of fun options from brewery tour perspective.
All right, that's awesome.
Well, you definitely filled up my day. I'm looking down because I'm taking notes now.
All right. So what's the best kept secret?
Best kept secret about Denver and Colorado in general is the weather. People think about Colorado and they think snow, snow, snow. And yes, it snows, but the reality is we have a very dry, kind of warm environment. So when it snows, and it might snow a foot, it's all melted by the afternoon because the sun comes out and it's a desert-like environment. So right now it is November 19th, and it is 70 and sunny outside right now. And it is sunset, but it's 70 and sunny so you can get 70-degree weather any time of the year. And it's 300 plus days out of the year where it's a sunny day. It never is that like gray for a week type thing that a lot of other places have. It is sunny and beautiful. And that's the best kept secret for sure.
That is a secret because I was not expecting that. I was expecting you to say it's 21 degrees right now.
I was not expecting that either. All right. So Dean, you have any other questions for him?
No, I think we're good. I'm excited to get there, and I'm excited, to have Tyler work with some of our buyers that are moving out there.
All right, awesome. All right, so Tyler, can you sum it up for us? Basically, if you can live anywhere in the world, what's that one thing about Denver that makes it home?
Yeah. So the thing about Denver is you got the best of everything, right? So you got amazing weather, but you still get to experience all four seasons. So you don't get too bored by just 70 degrees every single day, right? You get all four seasons. You got amazing outdoor recreation. You got access to a great metropolitan area where you can get any kind of major service or anything you need. Plus, world-class skiing just a couple hours away. So you got everything you're going to need to spend the rest of your life happily. So
that is awesome. Tyler, thank you so much for being on this show. Actually, you know what? You're the season finale. So that's kind of great.
Love it.
For our first season, so you're the season finale. So if anybody's interested in moving to your parts, basically, how can they reach you?
Yeah, so you can reach out to me, Tyler Shields at kw.com. You can send me an email. You can give me a call at my cell phone number, 720-774-2883. Reach out. I'd be happy just to talk with you about it. If you're not even sure, but you're like, hey, let's just chat about it a little bit. I'd be happy to break it down for you and let it be just one of the options you're considering. So
awesome. Thank you so much. Great. All right, Dean, how can if somebody's selling their house here in Queens, Long Island, Brooklyn, or the Bronx, how can they reach us?
You can call or text me at 516-527-9549.
And you can reach me at 917-975-5985. Also, we have a website, Dean.
www.mynwyhomesales.com.
All right, Tyler, thank you for doing the show. Dean, thank you for co-hosting. Want to say happy holidays to everybody. So happy holidays. Everybody just stay warm, stay safe. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you forward this over to your friends and family. If you're thinking about real estate, think about us. You want to know what your next move is, give us a call. Thank you for a great season. Tyler, thank you for being our season finale. We're looking to come back next season, so talk to you guys soon. So,
and Evan, thank you for a fun first season.
Anytime, man. I'm being bold. All right, guys, have a good one. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Tyler.